What's up, everybody? Welcome back to ScaleRiders podcast. This is episode number 253. I am your host, 65 Lokes. I am here with our guest, Armando Flores. And man, he's like one of our favorites that we like bringing on to the show. And it's just, it's going to be a fun one right here. So let's kick things off, by welcoming Armando. Let's let me just go ahead and mute this real quick right here. And what's up, Armando? How's everything with you? How you been?
What's happening, Edgar? It's been a minute. I don't know how many, it feels like years, but we're here again. I'm
Yeah.
excited to be here again in one of your favorite podcasts for car models. And yeah, it's been a minute. I have done so many things since the last podcast,
Yeah.
and I'm excited to talk about all those things that happened. But thank you for having me back here again.
Yeah, it's been a journey, Armando, because like I think back at like from some years back from starting everything, I remember just being able to do the recordings like over the phone. And then over time, you came up with the idea of like, hey, how about we have it in like my work studio and my space, and then those were like those first live appearance episodes where we were in person together, like hanging out. And we had a beautiful backdrop and everything. Your 65 Impala was there, and that was fun. Like that was super dope, having that. And that right there started to kind of set the bar as to like the direction of where I wanted to take the podcast. But over time, it got hard to kind of be able to do that. We did, with your help, we did get some guests on to be able to do it like that. But as we went on, I continued doing the phone interviews because some guests, they lived out of the state. And, over time we had to do Zoom, during the pandemic and everything. And, we're here now, but so much has happened, from the last time that you were on, the last time we did a podcast to now, like just you've been putting in work, you have not stopped. Even if you stepped away from auto building, you're either working on like RC projects, presentations, buildings, or even your 65 Impala and other cars. There's other people that also get in contact with you, like, hey, I need advice, I need help with this and designing things. So there's a lot. There's just like so much. But I'm just happy, man, to bring you back again. It feels like old times.
Yes, yes, it feels like yesterday, and I haven't stopped. I'm still doing what I like to do, and
No,
it keeps
yeah.
me keeps me young and keeps me happy.
Yeah, that's awesome. So let me make sure the stream is live here. Let me shout out some people. Slowly Models, also Crow Customs joining us all the way from the UK. It's morning time for him out there. Right now for us it's like, just the 10 p.m. and let's see here. Oh, what's up? Even David's on, all the way from Spain. Shout outs to David. What's up? Here, let me throw a comment. Yo, what up? What's up, guys? All right, cool. So, Armando, I'm gonna go ahead and can you see it on your end from your phone? The visual?
I see only your screen.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's doing the speaker mode right now. So, because we're still using Zoom right now. Let me see real quick if it'll give me another the gallery mode. All right, maybe this way. I don't know. We'll see what's up. But one of the things I wanted to bring up with you where I kind of wanted to set things, the conversation is just recently in the month of May, Art Lasky hosted the SoCal Open there in the valley in Chatsworth. Um and I mean this
Which that's
was what was it like May? I think it was May
May
5th
4th.
or the 4th. Yeah.
May
Pretty
4th.
um and I mean this is a show we've been going to, for some years now. Um and this one here was one that you did a presentation. collaboration with other artists as well that were part of this with you. And can you tell us about this presentation that you were doing there in May at the SoCal Open?
Yeah, it happened so quick. The last NNL West here up north in Santa Clara, it was the last one. And David De Vaca and Patient 124 and Juana Mezcua, we were over there like, man, after this, what are we going to do? And we started like, well, why don't we do something where we can bring some other guys involved in making Corvairs. And we started with just four of us, and then next thing you know, that word spread out to different modelers, different artists, and some of them were like busy doing other stuff. But the idea is to bring as many Corvairs as possible to put them on the table and not even compete, just more like just put them on the table and have fun and everybody will have their own ideas what to do on a Corvair. Those cars are like not known for like lowriders a lot, and they're not like very popular. People don't like them. But when you fix that Corvair in a certain way, it comes out like, to me, beautiful. And so we were to see that because we brought maybe what, nine Corvairs at the show, and they were all different. They were all like with different styles. People from Australia, slowly models, New Jersey, Vision 124, David De Vaca from San Diego, Mercado, which he kind of wasn't building car models for a while, and then he decided to be part of the build up, and he created his Corvair, and man, he got down with the paint job, with all the custom 3D parts, and it was really nice. And then it was really nice to see David Anthony Garcia with his Corvair. He was also like at the last minute, doing some touches, and but his Corvair looked really nice, like his work. And also Hector Lozano, he got back to building and he got crazy with his green Corvair. What's Matt Style? Matt Style also had another Corvair, another green one. Also his style. Juana Mezcua did a four doors, 1960. Beautiful, beautiful piece of art in there. So we got to see also Big Dave. He did a wagon. He needed a little bit of help on the paint job. He came to my house. We kind of like, talk about what his idea was, and we were able to make that paint job together and put it on the table. Who else? Let me not forget nobody else in that presentation. But we brought like nine Corvairs in there. Um, and I still have um, slowly models Corvair, which I'm going to show you here. I can't believe I'm holding it on my hands, but it's right here, and beautiful piece of work. Um, Everybody was looking at it like, man, is this from Australia? Yes, it has the license plates, the right-hand drive, has a lot of modifications, a lot of 3D printed parts. The engine is also complete. He put a color bar in there. He did a beautiful work on this piece. Here's one of the ones that I kind of did, and I end up adding some lights in the back and in the front too. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe this way. There's a lot of light in here. Then I did this another one with the suicide doors. Also, the lights on the tires, they turn on. And then I did this other one, this black one. This one I had fun because I was opening everything and make the car more like if it's stock, but just wires and hydraulics. It's another piece that Took me a while, but we only had 3 months, and in 3 months we were able to finish 9 Corvairs for that presentation, and it was nice because we were actually helping each other. Like, hey, what do you need? Um, I need this part. How can I do this? How can I do that? And um, it turned out to be a very good project where there's no like pressure because we still had 3 months to do it. Another beautiful part is that when David De Vaca, no, not, oh, David De Vaca is another one that did a Corvair. Let's not forget about him. But David Anthony Garcia made this drawing. Let me see if I can show you guys. That was a surprise because I didn't know he was going to do a drawing like this because the presentation was called Lovers, and everybody signed this little portrait, this art, and he ended up giving it to me. That was like a very special um, gift coming from David Anthony Garcia. So, of course, I put it on my garage and it's there for everybody that comes and visit can see it. Um, but it was so much fun building those Corvairs. We end up learning a lot about the Corvair history, the Corvair enthusiast, um, different things that we didn't even know about, but we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I know I was supposed to deliver and bring one too, and I didn't. I have it right here. It's not done. It's here we go. It's in the primer stages. So as of lately, what I've been doing is working on this. I've been going live. I know you've joined the live sometimes, chiming in right there. And I just been
Yes.
kind of working on this, you know. I know we had some conversations talking about kind of the direction and things I wanted to do with this build. And over time, because I had a work and all this stuff going on, then moving. Now that I'm situated, I've been able to really start working on this build. So there's been modifications to this body, things being deleted, um, things that are going to be added onto it, and just like little minor things like opening like the vents, things like that. Um, but at the same time, when you were telling me about, this car in particular that you were gonna do this presentation, like you said, it wasn't like a car that was really like a popular one or one that even for me
Mhm.
to be like, oh man, I want to get this car, I was kind of like, wait, what car is it? Like where I had to look it up. And then when I started looking up the kits, I was more like, oh, I remember seeing that 69 like everywhere, like Hobby Lobby and all these different hobby stores. And I would never, I would always pass it up. I would see it and I wouldn't really think anything of it. And finally, when you were telling me, hey, I'm getting all these promos, and then all the other guys are getting their builds, I was like, man, those look nice. All those 60s cars were looking really nice. So, I couldn't even find a 69. I was like locally. I was like, if I gotta get it, I gotta order it online. But I can't find one in my area. So then, shout out to Rudy Munoz. He came through. He got me a 69 Corvair, and this is the one that I've been, working on lately. And as I'm working on this, my mission is to get this one, painted up, completed, and then it's one that, I'm gonna pass over to you to be part of that collection, part of that, the Lovair collection of presentations. So whenever in the
Presentation.
future, I know you're gonna be doing more presentations with these builds because I feel like more people need to see these cars, from what you showed
Yes.
at the show. I don't think just it's just like a one-off show and like presentation and that's it. Like it's never going to be shown again. I feel like a lot of people need to see these builds to get inspiration, ideas, and also just to get very
Yes.
motivated, to be like, oh man, like I never thought of the combination of these two colors or you know what, I've been using a lot of flake. Let me start using more pearls just like all those like differences and directions that you can head through there. But yeah, man, I really like when you do these presentations, they're really awesome. I remember Armando, you mentioned something about Juan Amezcua that you said he had a model that he brought that it had the year written of the previous owner of that model. Can you tell us about
Yes,
that?
yes, yes. Because when he was building, excuse me, when he was building his four-door Corvair, he noticed that the windshield was cracked. So he ended up ordering another one on eBay, and it was one of those old model kits. But what he discovered when he opened it up, he had the builder when he built that Corvair in 1961, and it still has the date, the name, and all this information. And he's not even going to remove that from the car because he collects old stuff and everything. But that 60 Corvair four doors, it still has the build there from 1961. Uh, it's weird how he only ended up using the glass because it was what he needed for the piece that he was doing. And he showed me the model, and it was like, man, don't even paint over it, because you know what we do. We put primer, start throwing some other candies, and then the whole history gets destroyed because it's all written on the inside of the car. So I think he's gonna conserve it like that, and he's probably gonna show it to people that way.
Yeah, it's pretty
Another
nice.
person who was working on another Corvair was Gary Seeds. He was this close to finish it. Um, and maybe he'll send it one day and just to put it on a presentation or something. But he's another one. There's a few other guys that were started on the Corvair but didn't finish because the time was getting closer to the show. But
Yeah.
it was fun. Even if you
Mhm.
don't finish it, even David Anthony Garcia was saying, like, just whatever he did, he had a lot of fun building that Corvair because he started that Corvair a long time ago, and it's almost like the replica of his Corvair. But
Mhm.
what he was telling me is that this that morning he was still shooting some clear on the car.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh, dang.
one of those things that we're at a show, and we're at the last minute doing things. But that's the fun part of it.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, it's been so many years and you guys are still, doing this thing. You guys still see each other. You guys are still, out here in Southern California. It's pretty nice, just like lots of memories from going back in time to now. And, going back to that car that Juan has, man, that's amazing. 1961. I'm like thinking, man, my dad was born in like 62. So, you're also
Mhm.
1962, right? Armando, or
Mine is a 60, mine is a 62, correct? Yeah.
dang, there you go. It's a trip. Like it landed in the right hands, because like you said,
Yes.
that thing could have ended up somewhere, or we timer erase everything and let's start over. But just preserving it like that, it's pretty
Mhm.
cool. Um, yeah, it's always nice, when you have a collection, builds and things, and then they end up in the right hands with the right people, over time. And, these things keep getting showcased and put out there. I think that's pretty dope. Yeah, because when you had asked me about doing a car to be a part of this presentation, you gave me a lot of time. Like there was a lot of months ahead in time. It wasn't like 1 month, 2 months before the event. Like we had a lot of time. So I was like, I was pretty committed, like, oh, I'm down. Like I'm super down. But then as time went on, I started to see like I was working on another build and then I was like, all right, let me get on in this. And then I started to open it and get it all, working, like looking through stuff. But then I was like, you know what? For what's in my mind of what I want to do to this car, I was like, I think I need more time. And then I started implementing, taking in consideration, like, I got a busy holiday coming up with work. I'm gonna be moving soon and all these things. And I just knew like, man, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it. But I still am determined to like finish it, you know. Um, Especially now with like going live, like working on the build, you know, I gotta wrap that one up right there.
Yeah. It was at in January when I hit you up because that was
Hmm.
right after, actually February, I'm sorry, when after the Santa Clara show.
Yeah.
And the show was on May, so we had 4 months to work on that. Um,
Yeah. You know, I didn't go to the Santa Clara show and at the NNL. But you went out there, right? To that event?
yes, we went to the last one.
Yeah, who ended up who'd you roll with or how that tell me the story, how that
David,
all go down.
David, David De Vaca, he flew from San Diego, and then I flew from Burbank, and then Vision 124 flew from New Jersey, and then Juana Mezcua, it was from LAX.
Okay. Dang, so you guys are coming in from different areas out there. Let me see here. I was just pulling out the box right here. This is the 69 I was talking about.
Yes,
Dang. Oh, here we go.
yes.
So yeah, because I remember I was thinking about, you know, wanting to go. But it was just something I couldn't pass up. Like, I mean, not pass up. I couldn't even attend. I was like, dang, I can't even go to this event coming up. And and I was like, you know, hoping, well, hopefully they keep doing them, you know. And then once they're like, no, this is the actual final one. That's it, no more. I was like, dang, I know I'm gonna regret it later. I'm gonna be looking back,
Yeah, we had
man.
they had about over like almost like 1,700 pieces in
Hmm.
there because you know how you have a number when you put a car model?
Yeah.
There was a number that it was 1,700 and something. So, so that means that there was that many cars in there.
Yeah, that's
And you can
crazy.
tell because it was packed, it was heavy. And then the pizza night, it was also crowded.
Oh, the
It
night
was
before. Wow.
even guys, uh, OGs from up north, they came
Mhm.
over. A lot of people were there at the pizza night. It was
Yeah.
really nice.
Dang, I know. It would have been nice to like see everybody. Luis went, right? Luis Sabercano?
Luis Javier Cano went also. And some other
Hmm.
guys that are not even building, but
Hmm.
they collect car models or their kids do car models, but they still went.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, there were so many there. The
Yeah,
pizza place was crowded. It was in a different spot, but it was still big. It
hmm
was
on
too
there.
crowded.
Yeah.
And he
Uh,
went so fast too. Like always, I mean, you start
yeah.
talking, and next thing you know,
Uh-huh.
um, one of the things that happened, it was that Juan Amezcua, he he missed his flight in Burbank
Hmm.
because he's supposed to register his plane or flight, and he didn't do that, so he couldn't go on the plane. So he ended up getting like another plane from LAX 2, 3 hours later. So by 2, 3 hours later, made us. He landed in San Jose around 8 o'clock. So I end up leaving the pizza place, go pick him up because it was only like 15 minutes from the pizza place, the airport. So I went pick him up and I brought him back, and I got back at 9. Some people were already leaving at that time.
Hmm. Dang, that's crazy. That's dope. You busted that mission to go get them and come
Yes.
back. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
the other ones, the other pizza nights that were at the other pizza spot. I remember seeing the workers at first they used to trip out, like seeing all the people that were there, like bringing in
Mhm.
models and like getting pizzas and stuff. And I can only imagine this other spot since it's a new spot, you know. I did see some of the footage from some of the guys that were going live or that just posted up like from that night.
Mhm.
That was like the closest thing I could, you know, see like to be like, damn, like I definitely missed out. at this event right here. So that, yeah, how many models did you take to that event, to the NNL?
Um, I think, wow, I don't remember how many. I know there were not that many because of I was going to fly from there I went to Vegas because I had a meta project going on over there at the CES in Vegas. So I ended up not coming home that right after. I went from there to Vegas. So I know I took only a few models, not that many, because I was going to be carrying those things on the plane for many hours.
Yeah, let me shout out some people because I don't know if you saw
Yes.
the in the comments. So we got Francisco. I'm pretty sure this is Pancho. Pancho. So shout outs to him. Um, and also Willie's on here. Ryan, he's Scale Model Cars all the way from Hawaii, tuned in. And then Crow Customs from the UK as well. And then Slowly Models all the way in Australia. Vision 124 all the way in New Jersey. Dang, David in Spain. I mean, there's others that are on here live joining us as well. Um, but I can't see the names. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, also like drop them on the comments, and then I'll go back and monitor them, and then I can ask Armando right here. One thing I wanted to ask you, Armando, going back to the Lovers. So like when you were working on those Lovers, what was something that you came across that you learned, something new that, whether if it was the approach or just like, you know, because every build, I feel like there's something that it teaches you something, to level up for the next like phases for future builds.
Yes, always. That happens all the time. Let me change the screen here to my background so I can actually explain something here. The things about Corvairs, when you lower the tires, they go camber. So that's something that I wanted to focus on, that you have that realistic camber look on the suspension. And then once you start touching these Corvairs, they're very simple. They're just like almost like a resin, like a promo. So nothing opens. You have to like hinge everything. But I was thinking like, okay, what can I do to make this car more realistic? So I start opening all the louvers on the hood. I start machining all my aluminum pieces for the engine compartment. um, I noticed that, the bottom is too plain on the Corvair, but when you paint them, I use this primer and the Mr. Hobbies, the black one, and I was able to make it more detail on the bottom where now the car you can present it a little bit better. Most of my other cars are more like a curb size, but I start, doing something on the wheels so that the car will roll. So every car has something that you learn all the time. Um, Even hinging, sometimes, you've been doing it for years, but there's always the doors are a little bit different, the trunk is a little bit different, so you have to like change the way you hinge cars. Another thing is that uh, when you have a car that you never work on it before and you're going to put LED lights, your mind is already like spinning like, okay, what can you do? So I start putting like LED lights on the tail lights, make it all custom, shop the roof. I start like even on the paint job, the style of a paint job, it's a little bit different than what I normally do. So that's another experience for me. Um, Also, when you flare fenders, that's another technique right there. You have to like use a putty, use styrene, um, do whatever it takes to have that look. And every paint job for me, it's a challenge. It's a new experience. It's not all my paint jobs. everybody can see that it's different. It's not always the same style. It almost look like it's the same because it's got the 70s look, but it's totally different technique. And and it's something that I always want to experience. Like, what can I do? And it was fun. It was fun, and it was now with lowrider car model parts that he provide us with good wheels and stuff, it makes your cars look, way better. You don't worry about wheels anymore. He carries very good selection of wheels that you can think of. And he came to the show, and he had a lot of new product in there. Beautiful work. And you always learn. You always learning thing. Even there's some stuff that I didn't do because I didn't have enough time. But it's one of those things that the more time you have, the more detail you can put on your piece. And just with 4 months working on this Corvairs, it's nice. And one of the things is that I was so scared about using spray cans now, and you know what? Spray cans work pretty good. Some people even do paint jobs with spray cans and not airbrush. So that's another thing that, um, I stopped worry about it. Like, okay, I can use a spray can, no problem. And also my mentality on building car models is not like I used to, where you're going to a competition and you worry about everything has to be perfect. Not anymore. If there's a problem in anywhere on the car, it doesn't matter. Just have fun, enjoy it, do it, having fun. Because then, if you start worry about it, then it loses the fun of building the piece in there.
Yeah, I agree with you on that part right there. About about it has to be like perfect because it holds you back. It holds you back from finishing the build, from producing it, from ever even putting it out on a table or even leaving your house. You know,
Mhm.
it always just stays. I remember back then, like 20, probably like close to around the time when I started to we were hanging out a lot and you were showing me with painting and stuff. I remember on Instagram, I used to see a lot of people that would build a car and then right away they would paint it and then dunk it in the, what was it, that purple power just to get rid of the paint and start over. It was always like starting over, starting over. And and I don't know if that was maybe just becoming kind of trendy where people were like, oh, well, if he did it and three other people do it, I'm gonna do it too, because I want it has to be perfect. And I remember there was some models where, I would like get rid of parts, like delete door handles, scriptures, and then I would be painting the model, add too much paint in certain areas where, all of a sudden all that stuff would start like appearing, after you clear it and everything. I'd be like on the sun, like, oh dang, I could still see the emblems. What the heck? And I sanded it, and I was like, oh man, I gotta figure something out. Or should I start over? But then over the time, I was just like, you know what? Whatever, it's all good. Some people will notice it, some people won't notice it. But it's all good. I still like the way the model looks. Like, I I like the roof. Like, but then over
Yes.
time, when I started working on some of like the import cars, um that was still new to me, right? But then what I started to really like was that for some cars the attitude is kind of like, or like, who cares, like I like it, like this is the way it is. And with
Yeah.
slowly, I would show him a model and be like, "Oh, dude, check it out! Like I painted it, but the roof has like a big blemish, or it reacted. But you know what? I think I'm just gonna put a decal right here, like if it's like a sticker or something. Like if the owner was like screw it, like I'll just leave it there." So it was all those like little things, imperfections that you could just like kind of throw in, and it's nothing like crazy. Um, because it even in professional jobs, sometimes like you see someone creating something or like building something, construction, anything, and the presentation looks nice, but then at some point you look behind it or you'll start to see blemishes if you really start paying attention, you know. But it doesn't mean it was done wrong. Like, it's there. It's not gonna fall apart. Everything's gonna be cool. But it's just sometimes you just gotta roll with it. You know, you can't let it like hold you back right there. You know,
Yeah,
you,
when going back going back to those mistakes on the paint jobs, even back in the old days on real cars, when your paint jobs start having cracks or defects or something happens, what do? We do a panel over that. So that's saves the paint job again. And we lowriders, custom cars, we do that all the time when there's a crack or there's something in imperfection on the paint job that you want to fix that car, you don't want that to show. So it's normal. It's sometimes this beautiful God hands that makes miracles when you do little mark or something on the clear or
yeah,
whatever. Those things help a lot when you have those issues. So
yeah, get all that out,
I'm glad
polish
that
it
you
up.
carry that online on your store and carry that stuff. I keep ordering, and I'm gonna show what I just got from you. Like the tape is
Right
it's
on.
it's stuff that we use all the time.
Hmm.
And my last order, I ordered it because I wanted to have one of these stickers.
Oh, there you
It's not
go.
just
Dang.
the product that we buy, but it's all those goodies that you add to your
Mhm.
shipments that
Oh, right
made us
on.
happy. And
Oh, cool.
you end up adding some of the stickers, and and that's what makes it fun when you order something from ScaleRiders, because you always end up throwing something in there extra.
No,
And
thank you, man. Dang,
that's
appreciate the
that's
support.
good, because who's going to have one of these stickers right now? Only the people that get
Yeah.
something from you.
Yeah,
So
those are going on all the orders until I run out. I already ran out of the masterpiece
yeah,
stickers you gave me. So
yeah, and
later
this is from
I'm gonna
Hawaii.
need some more.
Yes.
No, that's pretty cool. When you were talking about the paint jobs, how like you're learning all these things. One of the paint jobs that to me, I still even when I look at some photos that I took of it is that the Heart of Gold, the one that has all these
Yeah.
different panels and that is like a whole nother level, you know, of painting. And I was looking at that and I was going, man, I wonder if that was one of his most challenging paint jobs you've ever had to do.
Yeah, the one is, I think I never showed this, the Jose's Dreams. This is the one that for me it has the most challenging paint job, because it has a lot of flake, and the panels that are underneath, and on the trunk, on the floor, on the trunk, and then on the hood and on the wheel wells. So this paint job, to me, it was if I was able to do this paint job, that means I can do the rest. And this paint job was done first before the Heart of Gold. And I'll show you the Heart of Gold right now in a minute. Um, it's something that let me get the car right now.
Yeah, go for it. Let me see here. Wanna shout out Concepts. He's just joining us. Model car 1589. Someone else that's joining us right now. How's everybody doing? Thanks for tuning in. Next week, just real quick, I'm gonna plug it in. Vision 124 is gonna be on the podcast. We're gonna be doing that next week, same time, 10 p.m. I know for him, he's in the East Coast, so it's gonna be a lot later. So he's actually, giving us a treat and, taking one for the team, like, coming up late at night to be able to join us to be on the podcast, hanging out with us. I know he's in the chat right here too, but thanks, man. Yeah, so next week we'll and hopefully you guys could tune in. So I'm gonna try to keep it going like every Tuesday. I'm gonna try to stick to that schedule. And then I need to figure out what day during the week is gonna be the day when I'll be like working on my going like live stream for building the model, most likely the Corvair. And then once this is completed, then start moving forward with other builds as well. And then there'll be some times where I might do a segment if there's like a product that I receive that I'm kind of excited about to just to show you guys what it does or things you can do just to kind of brainstorm, give some ideas. I might do something like that. I'm still just trying to figure out because just recently I moved and now I have like a bigger space in the garage where I could work, record, and just do stuff that I've been wanting to do. So, um, little by little, just gonna be like working on it, on things and yeah, I was excited to do this episode tonight with Armando. Right now, he's looking for a model that I want you guys to see. I'm pretty sure some of you guys have already seen this build on his Instagram page. But yeah, once he brings that one out, I'm gonna have to change the screen so it zooms in for you guys. But let me see here. Let me set it up for Armando right here. All right, tell us about this build, Armando.
Yeah, this is an actual replica of a Heart of Gold. This car is from Genocide Car Club. And just to do those flames and do all those panels, uh, it's uh it's another challenge right there. Even the painter E-Dog, who painted the real car, he was like, I don't know how you do that. I mean, you did it identical like the real car. And I the technique that he used is pretty much what I use on some of the models. Excuse me. But um, it was just a matter of applying it. So, like on this car, what I did is I did the whole car in silver and then flaked the whole car. And then I started working on different panels. And then the last thing I did is paint that yellow that is the main color of the car. So all my panels were already flake. Um, and I had to do it backwards where I couldn't do it the other way around because then it will build up my paint too much. Let me see how close I can get into that. But it's pretty detailed on that. And I put it on, it's part of the Genocide collection. Um, it's one of my favorite scars, this one here.
Yeah, that's one of those builds that you did a presentation at one of their events. Was that it's been a couple years now, right? From that time. Because I remember George was in town
Yeah,
for that one.
I did it at the Pink Motel. And then uh, I guess it make noise, excuse me, it make noise all the way to Chicago. And Slow and Low Festival in Chicago um, called me and asked me like, Armando, do you want to bring the Pink Motel to Chicago and start figuring out like, okay, how can I put that on a plane and take it all the way over there? So I ended up redoing all my floor out of foam, put them on the luggage, the building, put it in a case, and flew to Chicago and put it up and take it over there. I also took it to the so-called Open one time right after that too. So that Pink Motel traveled to three different spots already. It's still in my garage in a box, just basically waiting for whenever that happens. Um, I did the 805 building before. It's still there. It's in a box. It's gonna go to dead end again, back again, and it's gonna stay there. That's where it needs to be. But if somebody wants me to put a presentation, the 805 can go there before I take it back to dead end headquarters. So there's different things. Uh, I like to do presentations. I think they're more fun. I think I can collaborate with other people. Um, it's not about competition. It's about having fun, especially with OG builders that are in my circle of friends that we put things together and we make more noise by collaborating and put it out there. Um, the uh, the fun never stops. It's always going to be something. What's going to be next, and we can talk about that later on the podcast about what will be next. Um,
Yeah, I agree. It is fun, like getting together, like hanging out, like working on a build. I miss that. That's like I know you've always invited me, hey, come through and everything. And sometimes I have some footage from some old videos that we had done, even with like other friends.
yes.
And I look at those and I go, dang, I remember that. Like it seems like it was yesterday, but it was just fun. And I still remember even like working on some builds where I was like having some issues, like trying to do fitment or like fill in a trunk or just something that I couldn't do. Like I just wasn't ready for it yet. And then just showing it to you, like, hey, check it out. Like I'm running into this issue. I need to get this done. Like the deadline's coming, you know? Like what do I need to do? And you'd be like, let me see it. And then you just like, oh, you need to do this. And then you would do it. I'd be like, damn, that was easy. That was fast. Like you did it, you know? And then from there I was like, all right, cool. Now let me you know, get it smooth, sanded. Let's primer it. Let's keep it going. But it was just like the fun thing, and I feel like if there was more of that, like more like get-togethers, where you know you could bring, let's say you bring your model, with you, and something you're kind of working on, or even a brand new one, and it's not like you got to get it done that day, Just work on whatever you want to work on, or if you have a question or something. But then also it's about like talking with your friends and hanging out, you know? And and if something needs to be painted, like there's a possibility of painting, and that right there could also help someone that wants to see, like, let's say they want to see you like spray some candy, or spray, like do a panel that they've never seen you do, because they don't have the experience, so they just don't know how to do it. And I think like once you do it and they get to see like how you do it, it's gonna help them like to want to try it, and not feel like now they're gonna know where to go in the direction, um, but yeah, the get-togethers are always fun. Those are always like pretty cool to do those right there.
Yeah, and it feels good to I have so many years of experience in car models, and when uh, when something like that happens, for me it's very it's very happy for me to teach somebody what I know and show them. That way they learn, they know where they got it, they can proceed. They don't, that way they can still get motivated. They don't, because sometimes when you don't get the help, it dies on you. Like, okay, there's no more interest in you building models anymore. But I want to push those guys to like, oh no, you can do it like this, you can do it like that, and make them look like it's no problem. You can, everything has a solution, and it's part of life too, because you you're gonna have those struggles in life that you want to give up on things, and you're like, no, 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 there's always a solution. Just You just have to find it or get a little help from somebody. And um, those are the things that people will remember you uh, telling them how to do stuff.
Yeah, lately there's been a like since the move I've been, putting stuff up in the house, having to like uh fix things, clean things, update things and whatnot, right? And there's days where I could definitely be like, all right, dang, today could be a stressful day because I got everything's going wrong, things are being broken, whatever. But then I stop for a moment and then I go, all right, I think I know what I need. And then I start busting out like the tools I need. But then once in a while, I'll even add some of the hobby tools and I start working on one
Mhm.
thing at a time. And I end up, giving it some time, figuring it out. And then I ended up like fixing it and then I go, oh man, finally, like I learned something right here, you know? And then I keep moving
Yeah.
on, and then everything I just related to the models. I go like, yeah, like I don't know, I'm not gonna let it like freak me out or get all like too stressed about it. It's just something about figuring it out, and following the steps pretty much. And sometimes when I'm doing something, I'm telling myself, all right, I'm in the primer stage right now, or I'm in the sanding stage right now, before I really
Exactly.
wrap this thing up and go from there. So there's a lot of things that definitely it helps out. Um so like in your space like now, because I know you also moved a while back. How do you have your setup? Do you have like everything all in one place, or how's your workflow now? Oh, and also congratulations to retirement. I remember before you hadn't retired yet, before you were a guest. So now, congratulations on that.
Yes, it's finally here. We always talk about it on the on different podcasts that, when I turned 62, I was going to retire. Now it's like I'm going to be 64 in 4 months. So it's one of those things that, now it's here. It's already reality. And what I discover, it's another world. It's uh it's something that you have to be in that situation to understand it. You will not understand it until you retire. And every day it's a weekend. You have a lot of time in your hands, and I do take care of my house, take care of everything that needs to happen, wash dishes, mop the floors, cook, fix here, fix there. I'm still, you know, it's been almost 2 years since I moved here to Santa Paula, and I'm still doing stuff on the house. I'm doing major stuff and simple stuff. So putting my place is already back to like even better than the one in Burbank, the garage, because it's attached to the house. But here in my dining set, it's pretty much where I have a, let me change this. What you see in the back is pretty much what it used to be my dining set, but I made my kitchen so big that now it has a big island. So that's more like my dining table now. But it's also my car model table for right now. But eventually I'm gonna have my table in the garage where it's gonna be everything in there. It right now it's better than the one in Burbank. It's really nice. I'm happy, but it's a never-ending story. There's still more things to fix and make him comfortable because I'm gonna be here for the rest of my life.
Yeah, man, that's a trip. You're like, I'm gonna be 64 now. Damn, that's crazy. It's crazy how like time passes, you know, from the time that you were saying I'm gonna retire at 62, and then it's like you retired, and then bam, how fast time is just flying by. So like you know, right now, every day is different, like right now you could stay up late, tomorrow wake up, put in some work with some models, or you could do whatever. There's no like, I need to go to work. Um, you have your own schedule. of things that you can do, which is awesome. So like now I'm sure there's like a lot of even more creativity that flows and helps with like projects. Because there was a time where um you I don't know if I don't want to say like you stepped away from model building, but I know that with the resurgence of like the RC model, the cars that were starting to come out, that was something where you started to even bust out with some RC cars like paint jobs and things like that, a lot of custom work and even just taking like that whole lowrider scene, you know, helping take it to the next level with a lot of the enthusiasts and people that were getting into that. Can you tell us like how did that all kind of come together, getting involved in that world of the lowrider RC?
Yes, Jeffries, he's probably the creator of making Red Cat, developed that lowrider, um, hopping and hydraulics 110 scale. And what you see here in the back here, it's some of the cars that I done in the last past maybe year. And doing the Whittier Boulevard display with other guys in different car clubs, I was able to do the Whittier Boulevard in 110 scale. And that's because I had an offer with Lowrider Magazine where I can, if I wanted to do a presentation or something with RC cars, and I start bringing, the people that I know, and it turned out to be a very good presentation. And from there, I start going to different lowrider shows and start knowing a lot of people in the RC world. Um, it's another world, it's another circle. But a lot of guys that did car models, they went to the RC stuff too. And same thing, it's a competition. There's hoppers, there's all kinds of styles. There's mini trucks are coming in. But through doing those presentations, and then also making this movie about my Armando Flores history, that's when you know I got connected with Meta, which is a company that got also connected with Ray-Bans with the smart glasses. Um, this is the glasses uh, they're basically smart glasses. And what happens is that when you turn them on, you can talk to the glasses, you can record, you can go live. Um, you can do a lot of stuff with these classes. So they wanted to do a presentation, use my art with RC cars and Whittier Boulevard with 124 scale, and also um, the lowrider culture. So I was able to work with them, and it ended. I think it's done this month, and that's it. But it was a good journey with Meta doing all these presentations. So I learned a lot in the last, I would say 2 years. I was able to learn what it is to build an RC car, how to paint an RC car, get involved more in the tropical glitz using the paint and on the RC stuff. Because a lot of people are scared of painting RC cars because you need to paint them from the inside, but you can also do it from the outside too. And that's what some of these guys they do. What you see here in there, some of them are painted on the inside and another part is painted on the outside. My first RC car that I ever painted went to the Peterson's Automobile, and it was there for a year. Just picked it up on May, but it was there for 1 year. The other ones that you see on the top here, one, two, and three, those are from Meta, and they just basically collecting dust right there on the case. But I was able to learn a lot on that circle or that era of RC cars. But my heart is in car models. Car models, I think, is more fun because they're plastic and you can customize them a little bit different. And they don't take that much room. RC cars, I have six of them in there, and they take, a whole case, and it's only six of them. If I had car models, I can probably put at least 50 car models in there. So big difference on space. Um, but there's a lot of good stuff coming in for RC stuff too. And I did that part to help the community, to help the youngsters that are getting involved in this RC. There's a lot of them. There's probably more people involved in RC than it is in car models. And it's getting bigger and bigger. It's not stopping. So um, any age can do RC cars because it's you can buy parts, you can fix them, you can add it, you can replace it, and uh, it's uh, it's for every age. Car models, it's also for every age, but if you're gonna be like in competition, you need to be a certain age to do that. Um, but I got involved with that, with Lowrider magazine, with Meta, and I got to meet a lot of RC guys out there. Probably the best RC car clubs there is in California or out of state. So it's been fun uh, learning because it's all about learning. I'm learning how everything is evolving, 3D printed parts, how to make them hop even better, how to put sound system, how to put lights on them, LEDs, the interiors, the modifications. It's endless of ideas that you can do on 1/10 scale. Um, but when I sit down and do car models, it's kind of where my heart is.
Yeah, one tenth scale, that's huge. Like I didn't think how big it was until when I saw one in person, and I was
Mhm.
like, dang, like it's dope. But I was like, man, this is big. Like where am I gonna put that? That's why I haven't bought one or anything. I haven't gotten one my hands on one because I
Mhm.
honestly don't even know where I would even put it, you know? Um, because I would want to look at it or have it displayed, but then
Mhm.
I'm like, I don't have anywhere really to put it. I'd probably be playing with it, like making a hop or whatever, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe one day when I come down to your house, I would like to try to paint one. That I've always
Yeah.
been curious about that, about painting one. Whether it's the from the inside out or over the top, whatever way, just to kind of understand kind of like the vibe with that scene, regarding painting. I would be interested in that, but yeah, I'm with you there though regarding like where my heart is with like building. It's more like model cars, you know, something about just like the modifications, and then with all the other items with 3D printed parts, photo etch parts, um, chrome plated wheels, so many different options. And you doing a lot of LEDs, like adding them to the cars, uh that's something that is getting my attention a lot now. Even with some of my previous builds, I look at them and I go, man, I wish I would have added some type of LED headlights, tail lights, dome lights, things like that. There are some builds where I did add lights, but I didn't do any like soldering. It was more like a plug and play with like battery, that they made it very easy to do that. But I really would want to do something where I could kind of customize it into my own, do my own wiring, and just attach the LEDs that I like, and be able to like just have everything connected with a little switch somewhere for that. Do you feel
Yeah.
like that's kind of the direction that, to in order to kind of push like the model builds to the next step, that's something we should start kind of looking more into?
Yeah, Jerry's was always telling us like, you know what, uh, it will be nice to put LEDs on the cars because also when we do presentations and you have the lights turned on, the the cars they look more real, and having those lights on, it makes you a better presentation in there. And but let me show you here what an RC car, the size of an RC car. Look at how big this thing is. So compared to a car model, because that's what you want to see. Like, look at how small the car model is and how big the RC car is. And of course, doing the paint jobs is it's the same way, it's all like with flakes, with rainbows and all the stuff. The wheels are identical, but it's a big car. It's big. So different than something that small.
Man, that's huge. That is big right there. I was tripping out. I was like, what the heck? That's huge. It looks beautiful though. It looks really nice. That one there that you were holding, did you paint it from the outside or did you do an inside you know,
Uh, what I
paint
did is
job?
I paint the inside with flake and then cover the windows on the inside. Put the flake first, put SG100, put more flake, Tropical Glitz, the 0.004, and then I put silver, and then I put primer, and then I remove the windows, the tape, and then I tape the windows on the outside, scuff it down, put primer. I'm sorry, put SG100, did all the graphics, and then cover all the graphics and did the yellow, and then shoot clear on the whole car. So it's very, very takes longer than a car model because it's you waste more tape, more paint, and it's bigger. So it's almost like doing a panel on a like if you do a panel of a art panel. So the best thing is to use like a more like a touch-up gun. If you're gonna do like a full candy red, use a touch-up gun instead of using the airbrush because the airbrush will take you forever to clear the car. Um, I done one and the pink one with an airbrush, and it was like taking me forever to bury that thing with clear.
I could imagine. You got me thinking. Remember that one time you did that it was like a carry-on like case, the Gypsy Rose one with the roses.
Yes.
And I remember you gave it to me to clear it. You were like, "Hey, here, I need you to clear it." And I took it with me, and I was like thinking, "Dang, like I don't even have a touch-up gun or anything. Like, how am I gonna clear it?" But I didn't want to tell you no. So I remember taking it home and I mixed. I had the clear already. I had like the House of Color, like the kit. So I started mixing a bunch of clear, and then I got my compressor and I left it at like 20 psi, and I got my airbrush, and I started like from the bottom going up and up and up, and I was like, man, this is taking forever, right? And I was just going and going and going, and at the same time, it started to get late in the day. And all of a sudden, my neighbors started to have a party. They were having like a birthday party or some kind of party, but people started showing up, you know? So I'm over here like trying to like spray fast, and all I see is the cloud of smoke like going out, And luckily, it didn't go in their direction. It would just go up and like go a different direction, you know? But then I was like, man, I'm gonna be here forever. So then I ended up changing the PSI to, I think like, I don't know, 40 PSI, like just fast, you know?
Yeah.
And then I would just
Mhm.
pour all the clear into the cup, fill it up, and then I just started pulling that trigger all the way back. So now it was shooting a lot of clear, and now I started just to get, more coverage. And then I was like, all right, cool. Like I got to cover it enough. And I remember later that night you came down and pick it up because you were gonna bust the mission the next day to drive it, take it all the way to San Diego to take it to Mercado. Remember that? Because he was gonna
Yes,
he was
and
gonna
I took that.
he was gonna pinstripe it, I think, or
Your
touch it up or
Cholo's
something.
custom, Cholo's custom too, right? The car? Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
no, 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 no.
I gave you my yeah, the
Yeah,
Hudson
but that was a
wagon.
different year, I think.
Was it a
Yeah,
different time?
but
Okay.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
but
because that was for
you should
NNL
clear.
Volkswagens. Hmm.
Yes, and then I he paint stripe it, and then I should clear again, and it was like next week I have to go to Japan and take that luggage.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah. Do you still have it? The luggage?
oh yeah,
Okay.
my daughter end up using that
Yeah,
for traveling and stuff. So
yeah. It's pretty dope. It's super cool. But yeah, I
yeah,
remember that. Man, that's so crazy. That was like what, 2017 going into 2018 during that time.
yeah. So that's what eight
Yeah.
years ago. Can you believe?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So that's crazy. I don't know. Maybe I mean I don't know if this year, but maybe next year or something. We need to go back to Japan. I think we're due
oh yeah,
to go back over there. You know, take
yes,
take some models and just hang out. Just kind of check it out for what it is, and try to go to some shows. I think that would be pretty dope if we're able to do something like that out there. You know,
yes,
uh, Real quick, speaking about shows, I mean, we've been kind of talking about it lately. We've been talking about wanting to go to like Atlanta this year. We know we
yes,
have we have some friends who go to this show, the Acme show, like every year. This is like either in their backyard or they still have to travel to the show. But this seems to be a nice a place that hosts this like amazing show where a lot of the best modelers come out to and hang out and bust out their models. I feel like this would be a nice one for us to go out there to support and hang out and check out. So this way we finally get to meet some people also in person that we regularly communicate with on Instagram, on Facebook, and be able to finally, put a face to the name and to the models that we see all the time, and vice versa. Um, because some of our friends have been asking, like telling us, man, you guys need to come out. And it's been quite some years now, but I feel like now's the time. I feel like it would be a great time to be able to go to the Atlanta show. Um,
yes.
so that's coming up. That would
Some of
be
us
like a week before
October.
I know it's a week before Halloween. So we'll
Yeah,
be
it's in
we'll
October. In
yeah,
October.
October. So the cool thing is
Yes,
like be able to go to that, come back, and be able to kick it with family. I don't know, if you gotta take your granddaughter to go trick or treating. I know my daughter's gonna want to go trick or treating. I like, doing the whole Halloween thing with her just because I know she loves it, and I want to like be there, to see that. So I'm kind of glad it doesn't interfere with that, you know. So Atlanta, I don't know. You guys that are watching this right now or listening to this in the chat, are you guys going? That's the question for you guys. Are you guys going to Atlanta or planning? And if you haven't thought about it, is it something you might consider going to? Because I think it would be pretty cool, you know, the more familiar faces and more people that we know from out here, especially, to come out to the show, right here. I think that would be
Yeah,
pretty
we're planning
awesome.
to go. David De Vaca, we're talking about going. Luis Javier Cano is planning to go. Juana Mezcua is planning to go. And then myself, and then you also. So I heard also, Gary Seats likes to go to that show. Vision 124 is going to go in his club over there on New Jersey side of
Yeah.
it. So I already talked to Hector Lozano about it. I hope he can make it also in True Scale, because that would be nice to have, masterpieces, a group of us just going over there. We're
Hmm.
probably going to stay at the Holiday Inn across the place, and
Yeah, right there.
we we were excited to go because we were planning to go to that show for many years and it never
Mhm.
happens. And now this is the time where um, now we can make plans for it.
Yeah, yeah. Things are starting to, I don't know, I feel like things are kind of lining up for something like that, you know, to be able to go and also other future shows. I feel like, you know, maybe next year, I'm really curious about wanting to go to even like the NNL East that's in New Jersey. I think that would be, you know, I
Mhm.
know George, you know, he goes to that show. I think he also participates or helps with that event. And I know a lot of his
Yeah,
members
it's
go to
very
that
correct.
event, so it'd be nice to like see them again, you know. I mean, I'm looking forward to meeting them in Atlanta, but to be able to see them like again at that show, I think it'd be pretty dope because that's one that's like in their backyard right there, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that would be a pretty dope one. Um, there's another show that I want to plug. This is happening next year in Ventura County. Let's see. I'm gonna use my phone real quick
Yes.
just to pull up the website so this way I can plug the info. So this is the Left Coast Scale Classic, and this is gonna be going down April 25th, 2026. Armando's there holding the sticker. Um, you know, I spoke with Big Dave. He said he's gonna hook me with some flyers, stickers, and all that good stuff. So, you know, that's gonna be things that I'm gonna be adding in orders, right there. And you know, this event it's going to be having scale model cars, also 164 scale cars. There's also going to be 1-to-1. I'm not sure, Armando, do you know if there's going to be also 1/10 like RC for this event?
Yes, there will be RC.
Okay.
There's going to be RC 110. There's going to be 124 and Hot Wheels.
Okay.
And um, yeah, and I believe there's going to be real cars also in there. So it's
Yeah.
it's it's I talked to them last weekend, last Friday, and yeah, I think it's going to be so much fun. There's a lot of good ideas coming for that show, and these two guys are working together. They're putting their
Mhm.
heart in it. Uh, they've been talking to everybody. They know everybody in the car model world.
Yeah.
I'm bringing the RC stuff people because I'm more connected with the RC stuff than them. And
Hmm.
then, but yeah, they're doing their homework. They're doing a lot of great things for the show, and it's going to be more like an NNL. It's not going to be like competition too much.
Hmm.
It's going to be more NNL.
Okay.
So it's going to be a little bit different because you also don't see NNL Hot Wheels or NNL RC cars. So this is going to be
Yeah.
more come in and enjoy um, and have fun.
Yeah, so this event, the location is going to be at the Ventura County Fairgrounds. This is in the city of Ventura. This is pretty much, you know, not too far from Armando. He's part of Ventura County now. That's area where I grew up. I lived many years there in Ventura, Oxnard. You know, for those that are not familiar with the area, the beach is like right next to the venue. So there's beach there. There's downtown Ventura. There's tons of restaurants. There's tons of bars if you want to go bar hopping or whatever. After the show, there's hotels. There's a lot to do. Even if I would probably recommend to spend more time, like an extra day or two, out there in Ventura County. It's also like a middle meeting ground for people that are up north and those that are more down south you know. So I do expect to see like a lot of friends from like the San Diego area, LA area, the Valley, all the way to Ventura County, and then also friends that are in the upper Northern California, um, you know, 209 area code, and all the
Mhm.
way to the Bay Area, you know, Tracy and all that going coming down south. Also Salinas, all the different areas, all the different cities and spots from everybody that we know, it's I do expect to see at this event. I have a friend in Vegas. He vends a lot. He's pretty popular in the Hot Wheel scene. I'm gonna have to reach out to him right now that from seeing the theme that there is gonna be Hot Wheels because he originally was based out of SoCal. He's out in Vegas now. He goes by HHW Customs. I know I plug him a lot because I mean that dude he's an awesome dude. He's been on the podcast before as well and it'd be pretty dope to see him there. I know we'll most likely be vending there as well, but you never know. We might be doing a live podcast or something from there too. That's something that's also been like in my mind thinking about, but it's something that I need to run through the guys that are organizing the event right there. So make sure
Yeah.
you
Auto modeler is going to be
yeah,
there
they're gonna
also
be there as
and
well,
dedicated members. See there.
dedicated.
Another thing,
Yes,
yeah.
let me see. Um,
Another thing is that there's going to be also like the pizza party day before.
hmm
So they're planning on putting something together so that there will be like uh, the night before where
Yeah,
you gather and you can eat and stuff. So I'll let them mention that on their side
yeah,
when there's a chance, but they're also working on that. And
yeah. I
I'm just
think,
going to help them as much as I can with them.
yeah, I think they said pizza party, and then after the pizza party, once the pizza's done and everything, we're gonna they said bonfire at the beach. So
Ándale.
there's a bridge right there where the train passes. So we're gonna have to like walk on the tracks crossing that bridge. There's no side, no, you have to go on the tracks. And you look down, there's a water, there's all that stuff, right? You don't know what's down there. And then you keep going down and then you reach the perimeter right there. There's all the dunes and all the sand, and then there's gonna be a bonfire right there. So be ready. Nah, I'm playing. But back then that was a
Yeah.
thing. Like that was like a thing. I remember back then going to shows and like hanging out with friends and they would be like, "Hey, let's they used to call it hobo jungle." That's what they were calling it because there was a lot of homeless people that would like kick it out there or whatever. And you would find like crazy stuff right there, right? And people would create kind of like huts and just like weird stuff would be back there, and I remember you would have to like a lot of times you would have to cross those tracks in order to get to the other side because if not you would have to like walk all the way to the beach, walk in an area over the water, get all wet and then come back, go all the way around. So that was like the easiest way like to go through those tracks. But I'll have to show you Armando on Google Maps or something one day. Or maybe
Where it
maybe I'll,
is.
I'll take you. It's right next to the Ventura Fairgrounds. I'll have to take you. I'll be like,
I'll
hey,
throw a rave party. Like
let's check. No,
put
they
the
used to do all kinds of
speaker
like parties and stuff down there. Yeah, yeah, because they used to be like, where's all this music coming from or what? But it was like a little hidden
Yeah, and,
area.
and there's a hotel right there, right?
Yeah, yeah. There's
There's
a
like two hotels or
yep. Yeah, there's a hotel, there's a pier, the Ventura Pier. There's people surfing, there's people kicking it. There's a lot going on, you know. I know for
Yeah,
most people that grew up there or know the area pretty well, they just kind of see it, mind their own business, take off. But I know for those that aren't familiar with the area, it's gonna be kind of cool to see this kind of stuff, you know, to be right there in the
yeah,
mix and be like, oh dang, what's going down, you know?
yeah,
But yeah, that show,
yes,
that show's it's coming up right there next year. So that'll be in the month of
yes.
April. And then the website too, it's Left Coast ScaleClassic.com. So if you guys want to get more info on that, check them out right there. And man, I'm looking forward to it. It should be pretty cool. Um, are you gonna go to the show in Oxnard that's gonna be going down later this year in September, the IPMS show?
I don't know about it.
Yeah, let me grab
I
let me
need,
grab the flyer. I'll be back, guys. Hold on. Let me grab it real quick. Guys, here.
yeah, yeah. And the theme of this show is going to be mini trucks. So um, bring your mini trucks. Um,
For
I know Jerry's is
the one for
building his
April.
mini truck. April? Okay.
Yeah, the Scale Classic, the left
Yeah.
coast. That's gonna be the mini
Yeah.
truck theme.
Yeah. So I hope Jerry's will come into this show. I mean, the theme is mini trucks. So he wants to finish the alien toy, I think, or some mini truck Hot Wheel. And then he's got the mini truck 1/16 scale. And now he's also, excuse me, he's also doing the 110 scale mini truck that Pancho painted for him. So he's got all three different scales on mini trucks. That's going to be nice, and there's good surprises for people to see that day. So it's going to be nice.
Yeah. All right. So I got the flyer. Here it is. And it's probably gonna, oh yeah, I thought it was gonna be like in reverse, looking kind of weird, like mirror. But this event right here, I'm gonna read it off.
You see
We
it
got
clear.
we gotta plug it in. But do you see it there, Armando? Let me see.
Yes, I
There
can
we
see
go.
it
There we go.
clear.
Sorry. All right. So this is 2025 WonderCon, September 7th, 2025 from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. This is taking place at the Oxnard Performing Arts Center, 800 Hobson Way in Oxnard. So admission is $10 and $3 entry fee per model. Three entries per person per class maximum. Lots of free parking at the center. Yeah, it's like a huge parking lot right there. There's also a park right behind it. So there's lots of parking. You won't miss it. It's like a I don't know the shape of the because it's somewhat of a theater. The placer, so it looks kind of odd, kind of big, but the rooms where they're going to be having it, they're more like in the back in there. So this is a multi-category model contest, open judging with gold, silver, and bronze awards. For the automotive modeler, special awards for best Shelby Mustang, 60 years. Automotive categories, there's small scale, street, competition, commercial, motorcycles, and large scale. And for more info to contact, let me see here. Let me see. I'll put this right here. I don't know if you guys could see the emails right there. Maybe you want to screenshot it real quick. Um, but yeah, we have you hit up Lou, Scott, or JC right there. But yeah, I'm gonna be here at this event. I'll be vending at this event right here in September. I'm thinking about inviting my dad and my brother because they live in the same city, you know. Um, I was thinking about reaching out to them and being like, "Hey, come kick it," like and then other
Yeah.
friends too, just to hang out and then for to check it out right there. And then
It's only 15 minutes from my house.
yeah, not it's not too far from you. You're pretty close to this now. So you definitely need to make an appearance to this. I think
Yeah,
you need to come out to this event. Whether if you bring some models or just hang out. I think it'd be
yeah. Take my granddaughter for
yeah, bring her out.
the
That'll
show.
be that'll be pretty cool. I mean, dang, like my daughter's already gonna be 5 years old in August, like towards the end of August. I'm already thinking like, man, I don't know if when she turns 5 or when I'm just gonna start bringing her with me, or 6. Like, hey, you know, like you need to help me work now. You know, I don't know. Like, I don't know, just for her to like hang out with me, like that, like kind of show her on that stuff and I don't know, I think it'd be kind of cool, to bring her out and stuff. And and I don't know.
Yeah,
That way she kind of gets to also meet my friends and just see like the whole like the scale model world, that we're all a part of. I think that'd be kind of cool to see
yes.
something like that. And but yeah, this show is probably like the one I know that's like I mean, there's still a ways, but it's gonna come up quick, you know, the time because then it's already gonna be July and then August,
Mhm.
September, boom, right there. So it's one it's pretty quick. So hopefully by then I'll have that Corvair done and I'll be able to bring it out to that event. Have it right there on the
Yeah, what
table.
day you say?
Oh, this is
Yeah, what day
September
you?
September 7th right here. Let me see the day though. Let
Okay.
me check. Most likely it's probably gonna be a Sunday. Because I know most shows are on Sundays,
Mhm.
but yeah, it's a Sunday. Yeah, it's gonna be a Sunday, so it should be a fun one, you know. Um, hey, so over here where I live, um, there's a couple parks, right? There's like a big
Mhm.
park, and then there's another park that's like a little more low key, right? And at that park, um, last year we had my daughter's birthday party. Like and like we booked like this little spot, right? And they have all these tables and it has a roof, right? For shade and whatever. But there's also like this like playground behind a really bizarre playground with some like dinosaur figures and it's kind of cool, but it looked kind of trippy. And I don't know, every time I go over there pretty often because we live so close to it now. Like I walk over there with my daughter, and every time I go, I look at those tables and I remember, oh, this is, where we had our birthday party. But then I think, man, I think I'm gonna have to book this spot, like contact the city and like book the date and have like a get together, like with everybody, like all the monitors, and just be like, hey, come through, like let's hang out, bring your builds,
Yeah.
whatever. Let's just hang out, eat, listen to some music, chill, you know? And
Yeah, remember low ballers and also so many ways when they used to do
yeah,
like go to the park and hang out,
yeah.
something like that.
No, and it was like a cool vibe because it was just like people would just show up, you know, um, and bust out their canopies or just their things. But like with this one, since it already has, I think it's like let's see, it's one, two, three, four. I don't know if it's like 6 or 8 tables underneath the roof already, right?
Mhm.
And it is like a pretty private space. So like the big general park, which is the front of the area, like there's already kids and all that on that side. But when you walk through this like area, it takes you there and then it's like private. Like it's just that, you know? But then, like I said, behind that, then there's that other part of the park. But anyway, there's tons of people that book that little area to have like birthday parties, you know, or whatever, like events. It could be anything. But I was just thinking, like, dang, I think it'd be kind of cool if we did something like that right there. Um, I'll have to get more info and I'll show it to you. Or next time when you come over here to my pad, we'll go over there and check it out.
Yeah.
Is I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it would be kind of
We'll do
cool.
we'll do a scale riders potluck, and then everybody brings food,
Damn,
whatever, and then kick
that'd be
back.
pretty sick. Yeah, that'd be pretty dope. Like some kind of meat, like just something, where where we all like get together, kick it. I mean, potluck would be pretty dope. Something like that. But also like bring your builds or whatever, even if you just want to kick it, I think it would be pretty
Find
sick.
out how much does it cost to
Yeah, it's not even a lot. It's not a lot, but I think it's just seeing what dates they have open in the calendar, you know? Because I know when we booked hers, it was around August, and we had to do it like ahead of time, you know? And I just gotta see like the day that they would have available, you know. Um, but then again, like right now, we're already creeping up into the months where it's gonna get hot, you know. I mean, there's days where it's nice, cool weather, but then it gets really hot, you know. And I know when it was
Mhm.
her birthday, it was hot like that day right there. But what helped was the wind. The wind started to kick in, and then I was like, all right, it was good to go. But we'll see what's up. We'll see what's up. Let me check the chat real quick just to see if there's any questions that people may have for you guys right here. Let's see, let's see. I know Oh yeah, so shout outs to Ramiro Morales. He asks, "Hey Armando, are you attending the Custom Capital Car Show up north? That's the one that Dead End is
Yeah, it's
hosting."
next this coming weekend. It's already almost here. I've been so busy here in the house that that I wasn't even thinking about that show. And normally what I do is I talk to David and Juan, and we end up doing something for the car models, and then also or do a presentation at the Dead End headquarters. So yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. It's so soon already.
Yeah, I remember that one time we went out there. That was probably the only time. That was a dope show. There's a lot of dope cars, a lot of good ideas right there from cars that you see. Um,
Yes.
George, yeah, George, he posted on the comments that he already booked his flight for Atlanta for the show. So
Yeah, he's already
he's
said
in. Yeah, he
he's
said,
not gonna
dang.
wait for us. He's
Yeah,
gonna
nah.
buy his plane and
Yeah.
mm,
Dang. He's like, if you show up, you show up. If not, nah. Good knowing you. No. Dang. Nah, that's pretty cool. Um, let's see.
Papa
Ryan.
Willie 61. That's Willie.
Yeah, that's Willie right there. Question for you, Ryan.
Willie.
Are you planning to go to Atlanta? I know you travel a lot. You go a lot of different places and shows up. I kind of want to know if you're going to be going out there too to Atlanta. But but yeah, I think then potluck, barbecue, get together. That'd be pretty sick right there at the park, you know. Um, but if
Hmm.
not,
Count
Kyle,
me in.
yeah, right. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what's up. But I do want to do something because I want to see some people like just to kick it, you know. I just it'd be a nice thing to get out of the house, and like hang out with everybody right there. Um what other uh what other plans or models do you have in mind for this year? Because we're already in the middle of this year, but what's something that you want to try to like either finish up or maybe get started, either to complete or to just kind of get the things going for like next year. What are your plans so far right now?
Yeah, both things. Let me show you what I've been trying to finish here. It's and it's here on my table. It's this car here. I painted it a long time ago, and I'm just trying to finish it because it needs some love. Um, and but one of the things we're planning to do next year for the Soko Open is Volkswagens. So you know how we did the Corvairs um, this year? Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do Volkswagens, and here's my box here. Uh, this is the 1966 Tamiya model kit. It's very, very detailed, very nice. But we're gonna be doing Volkswagens, and the whole presentation, I guess I'm gonna start at the beginning of the year for the layout, but for the car models this year, I'm gonna start working on some, not just one. It's gonna be two or three Volkswagens, but everybody's welcome if they want to build a Volkswagen. It only has to be a bug. It cannot be a Carmen Ghia. It cannot be a van. It has to be a Volkswagen. And the idea is to put them all line up in the whole presentation at the so-called Open next year. I still have to talk to Art Lasky about it. I'm pretty sure he's okay. He's always been nice about it, and that way we can make a little bit more noise, and then everybody can be uh, welcome and bring Volkswagens. There's already a lot of people already in line working on some. So I know it's going to be a very good presentation because you can do a lot on Volkswagens. Um, and So that's going to be something that we're going to be working on.
That's nice. And regarding the Volkswagens, like the bugs, it could be it doesn't just have to be Tamiya, right? It could be like Aoshima, because I know Aoshima does some too, or it could be like other different brands.
Yeah, Rebel AMT can be any as long as it's a Volkswagen, because what's going to happen, the artist's mind is going to be on that Volkswagen, and it can be any as long as it's like a 60, 66, 68 and older. Because if it's the new Volkswagen, that will not go into that theme on that Volkswagens. Um, but you can do a lot. It can be import, it can be 80s, it can be classic, it can be custom, it can be patina, it can be. They're fun to build. So after I opened the box, my brain was just going crazy with all the things that you can do. So that's for everybody that wants to be at the show and bring some stuff in there. And if you're too far and if you want to build it and send it to me so we can put it on the table, they can do that also, and I'll pack it and send it back to them if they want to be in that presentation. Um, I've done it before with other guys, and it works good because sometimes you can come in, but you can your art can be shown over here in California. So that would be nice.
Yeah, I think you answered the question. Crow Customs in the UK, he had asked if it's just Beetles, and I think you answered it. I think he asked it right when you were already like explaining that right there. But yeah, so it's just Beetles that's gonna be for this presentation. So it's probably recommended, obviously like to hit you up, that way you kind of have an idea of like who and who's making one for the presentation. I really
Yeah,
like the
I
the
think I
the
already have like
no, go for it.
I think I have like around maybe like 15 people already working on one.
Dang, that's awesome. I was gonna mention I like for the Lovair is that when you did your presentation, the that like paper mat that you put underneath each model because it just made it look really clean, organized, and it had the name of the artist listed under that car. I thought that was cool.
Yes,
Are you gonna do
yes.
something like that
This
again?
one, no, this one, it would be more like, and I mentioned this now. My vision is to make a pier, like a Santa Monica pier with lights and fence and table wood, whatever, and then put all the Volkswagens facing towards you all around it. So I won't start the whole layout until the beginning of the year. So that gives me at least 5 months to do that. But the Volkswagens will start this year already because they'll take time to build.
That's cool. Um, right now, like when you go on Instagram and you're looking through you know, the people you follow or even just coming across like other pages, is there like artists or anybody that kind of stands out to you that you go, dang, like this guy's killing it, or like, you know, just kind of always coming up with like new stuff that even inspires you that you're like, man, or motivates you to want to you know,
Yes.
go back to the bench.
Yeah, there's a new guy in Georgia that is going to go to the Georgia Atlanta show. He's in Atlanta. He goes by the name Raiden Tattooer, and he's doing a 70 Impala, all crazy with rainbows and everything. And he got inspired by Boogie Nights, but now he's doing the cars and he's inspiring me to like, man, he's a little different. He's doing stuff that no one has done. So um, that's somebody that, wow. Uh, Also, those guys from Japan. I mean, the more I see their work, that when they put the cars with the spotlights and all that stuff, that makes the cars look really nice and looks like they're really on like you can tell that they love what they're doing. And they said that they were coming too, so that's good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Let's see. What's up? We got Builds by George Juarez. What up? He's joining us here. And shout out to Concepts, Crow Customs, Bugs, George Ramos, Vision 124, Scum Model Cars, Slowly Models, Model Cars, or Model Car 1589. And Rudy Munoz, Luis, even Luis Javier Cano was in the mix earlier. I don't know if you got to see him. He was on here uh, chatting it up away as well. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of cool, exciting things, you know. Every time we jump on Instagram, there's always something new. There's always you know,
Mhm.
someone creating or painting or just doing something, you know. And I really like the videos, like the reels. Uh, you know, someone's like showing a quick tutorial on how to do this, whether it's weathering, you know, layering and those things bring out the curiosity like, oh dang, I want to try that, I want to see what that's about, you know. and and then, you know, seeing your presentations, things that, you know, with the magazine, especially like right now, like there's dedicated magazine, auto modeler, model cars magazine, three magazines right now, tangible items that we can get in our hands, that we could flip through, get more inspiration, but also, it's like it's almost like a goal, you know, like you want to be in a magazine, you want to have your builds in a magazine. So that's the cool thing that's still out there. You know, you could still, if you work hard and you go to the shows and you make some noise, there's a a high percentage that you're gonna end up getting your car photographed for these magazines. Um, you know, 3D printing is booming. So much is going down with that. Um, and then also if you're building a lowrider, I mean, you got lowrider model car parts that's in the scene, and he's pretty much already set his anchor. You know, he ain't going nowhere. Um, and and it's just like the stuff he's doing is he just keeps pushing it to the next level, to the next level. You know, when we saw him at uh the SoCal and Open, he did kind of give us a little bit scoop behind the scenes. And I remember he showed me some photo etch uh sheets that he's doing, that he's gonna also have his own line, like implementing that in the wheels, and then also the rings too that were gonna be on the wheels as well. So there's just a lot of cool stuff right now coming out. Did you check those out, Armando?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Which ones?
The ones he had like some photo etch. He was gonna get
Oh
some
yes, I
printed,
did. I did.
and then also like
He
the
has
hoops.
yeah, he has a lot of good stuff coming up, and you'll be surprised what he has coming. But he's gonna let us know when it's time to you know to show us. But he is improving more and more. Another person is Tropical Glitz.
Let me see if
He's
I can see it.
has providing us uh,
I love these
a
ones.
lot of yeah, those are the
Ah,
steering wheels. Um, yeah, many from Tropical Glitz. I mean, he has a new paint jobs. I like how he does the spray cans too. Those are very easy to work. When if you don't have an airbrush, you can do it with spray cans, and it's still gonna look beautiful. That the 2K clear he sells. He um he has new colors. He has also new stuff that he's gonna bring in. So from going back 5 years ago, we were always talking about um, the wheels. Who's going to provide us the wheels? We had Jeffries, we have um, T. Dennis from Europe, and then now lowrider car model parts. It's improving. The paint also. It was always like, how do you get this color? How do you get this paint? Well, Tropical Glitz is taking care of us, not only on the car models but also on the 110 scale and the Hot Wheel. It's getting very popular in all different three different circles. Um, and 3D printing, yes, there's a lot of parts. There's a lot of people even learning the 3D printing to make their own parts. Um, Matt Style, he just got his printer and he's doing a lot of great stuff too. He's a guy that is creating all these little extra accessories on the parts. Figures, and he's a little different than other people. So everybody has their own style, and you can find all this stuff available now that we used to talk about it like, hey, you think this is going to be possible?
mm,
Another one is chrome plating parts. Now you can send the parts to get chrome plated at Spot Hobbies, and it's very reasonable price. Just
yeah.
go to spothobbies.com and you'll find the section where you can send parts to get chrome plated. That was always an issue. Who can chrome plate parts? Well, Spotlight Hobbies is what who's doing it right now. And don't be surprised if new companies will come in place also. So
Yeah.
the hobby world is not ending. It's actually getting better and better. Uh, and it's keeping us doing these beautiful pieces that we do every
Mm.
day.
Why do you think people say that? Like like back, or I don't know, I haven't heard anybody say that now, but like back then, they'll be like, "Oh, the hobby's dying, the hobby's dying." Like, I mean, you've been doing it for so long, so I'm sure you've heard people or you've seen people come and go, you know. What's your take on that? Like, what do you feel, or why do you think people sometimes say those things?
It's because the people that were really on it, maybe what, 40 years ago, they're old now and they just want to give up and they're selling their stuff and they think the whole thing is going to die. The shows are, they're not happening, but now it's a different era. I think what's a lot of stuff, what's going to bring us is the internet is keeping us together and is making more like we used to not know what's happening in Europe, but now with the internet, we know who's working on what, and we get to talk to people from all over the world, um, Japan, Australia, the Netherlands, France, everywhere. So um, I don't think it's going to end. It's just new generations coming in, and then new stuff is coming in. So what's happening is some of the old builders, they're coming back because there's new stuff coming up also. We see them at the shows, that people that stop for 20 years, or and there's some people that they need their time. They have their family, they gotta do some stuff, they go through divorce, or they go through a job, or they move from one place to another, and they have to refresh again, but their passion is building car models. They come back. And for me, I never stop. I'm just keep doing it. It keeps me happy, so why not do it?
No, yeah, it's like what you were saying, like sometimes you gotta stop, you gotta do stuff, in life, family, get everything in order. But if you really love it, you'll always come back to it, you know. You always find a way. Even if you had to like, if you had no kids, no nothing, you gotta start over. It's not gonna be hard to get the basics of things and get back like into it, right there. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I see the different styles, the different genres of that's hobby related, and everything is booming right now. Everything is growing. People are just getting better. So that's how I know it as an indicator. Like, yeah, this isn't going anywhere. There's more
Mhm.
brands coming into play, more newer, exciting products, I'll be worried the day that you're worried. Like if one day you like call me and you go, "Oh my God, that's it. It's done. It's over." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" "No, yeah, that's it, man. It's time to get rid of my stuff." I'd be worried. I'll be like, "Wait, wait, wait, what happened?" "No, I went to the show. That's it. Everybody's quitting." Nah, I'll be
Yeah.
then that's when I'll be like tripping, like, oh, what the hell? But as of right now, nah. Everything's like everything's fun right now. I feel like everybody's very supportive and is rooting for each other. Like if someone's building something and it's different or whatever, it's like everyone's like, oh, that's dope. Like let me show you mine or whatever, everyone's doing their own piece and it comes together. I think it comes together pretty good right there.
Yeah,
And
it's a little different than the olden years,
mhm,
Now it's more fun, I think, and the competition is starting to stop, at least on my end. It's more
mm,
like, have fun and show your work. Everybody knows what you're capable of doing. But if you motivate other people, that's good. If you help out, I get phone calls, or I reach out people and let them know, like, hey, let me introduce myself. This is what I like to do. And some people think that, um, I didn't know you were gonna call me one day and be able to talk and or give me an advice or whatever. And now it's just part of the life. As long as I'm alive here and I'm doing this stuff, it's gonna be um, it's gonna be good. And I'm a regular guy. I'm doing the same thing everybody's doing. I'm no special from anybody. I just love to do what other people like to do. And um, some people like trucks, some people like imports, some people like classic cars, bombs. There's so many styles, and it's so much fun.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I wanted to give a shout out to Builds by George Juarez and Modelcars for the super chat. George was saying, "Man, I'm tired, but great live. What's up, Armando?" And Modelcars says, "Thanks
Hey,
for
G.
repping Lolos." And also, shout out. We see here who's joining us, Lane Low Hobbies. He says, "Skewable, what up, guys?" And yeah, the hobby isn't going anywhere. It's the best time to be in the hobby. Yeah, it's a good time, man. Like definitely, like right now, you could start on anything right now, and there's just a lot of options. You got different people, different people you could reach out to and get information as to what you want to get right into, and I think a lot of that helps right there. I see behind you, that's the booth, right? The spray booth, the little box.
Yeah, that one. That's the one I got for Father's Day, a new one.
That's dope. Yeah, I need to get one. The one I have, it's pretty beat up. Like it's kind of, I mean, it works, but it's all like messy and stuff. But I definitely, did you know you could connect two of them together if you put them side to side?
Oh, you can?
Yeah,
Well,
there was a
well,
photo
yeah,
I saw.
but it's very portable. It's very, very
Yeah, it's like
nice,
a little
very clean.
briefcase. Yeah, it's pretty nice. So,
Yes.
I guess what you end up doing is like the middle, or you know how like the side walls, you knock one, like you just fold one
Mhm.
off or you pop it off, and then you connect the other one, you put them next to each other, and now you have an extended
Okay.
um paint booth pretty much in
Wow.
in there. So
One for parts and the other one for the body.
yeah, yeah. You could definitely switch it up right there. Do you still have the same water compressor? Remember the OG one you had? Or do you have a newer one now?
I have, I throw away the first one, but
Oh,
I
you
use
threw
it
it
for
away?
like more than 12 years.
Dang. Why'd you
Yes.
throw it away? Just
Because the tank was like, had a hole. It was
okay.
leaking a lot of
Oh, like the
water, I
like the
guess.
rust in there.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
so I have the one that has the two outlets and it has the two controls
Hmm.
and that's the new one.
Yeah, how do you like that one?
I love it. I love it a lot. I like
Yeah.
the fact that you can do two lines
Hmm.
with different PSI and then I have a quick disconnect. So it's
Yeah.
very nice.
So you can have like just two different airbrushes, probably different sizes and different color paints or
Yes.
whatever, ready to go right there.
Yes.
That's pretty dope. Yeah,
Yes.
I love my compressor. Um, but if I needed to buy a new one or another one, that would be probably one I'd consider, the one with the two outlets to be.
Two
And then the
outlets.
PSIs, you could change them independently, like for
Yes.
each one. Wow,
Yes.
that's pretty dope.
And then it has the holder to hold
Hmm.
the airbrush right there.
Oh
So
yeah.
uh,
Yeah. What's your
that's also
preferred
nice.
your preferred PSI when you're airbrushing?
You know what? I always put more than I almost put like 20, but I know Juana Mezcua says I like to spray with like very low 17, 14, and
Mm,
I can see why. If your airbrush is really clean, 14, it's beautiful. It'll not make a lot of spray if you're doing it inside your house. But if you're doing it outside and you wanna, like when you wanna throw a candy or a clear or flake, you always need a little bit more heavy PSI. And then
mm.
when I'm cleaning my airbrush, I like to like put a lot of pressure in and do that reverse thing and clean it up. And, I have my
Mm,
ways of cleaning my airbrush. And
yeah.
that's when I open it up a little bit more
Oh,
or
dang.
switch it
Okay.
to the other one that, more PSI. I do have a touch up, a new Iwata touch up gun that I bought for RC cars. I haven't used it yet, but I
Yeah.
wanna I wanna see how it works with that compressor.
Yeah. Is
Um,
it the LPH 80? Is it that one? The touch-up
I'm
gun?
not sure, but it has that almost a different trigger. It has that one
Mm.
looks like almost like a gun,
Oh, okay,
but it
okay.
has the metal, like a
Mm.
metal cap on the top,
Yeah.
like aluminum.
Mm-hmm.
That one. It's
Yeah,
really nice. Like
that's
a
dope.
600 and something dollars.
Yeah, yeah. Man, that's awesome. Have you been to out to like Coast Airbrush or anything out there in Anaheim?
No,
Yeah,
no.
me either.
Now with
It's been a
Amazon,
long
you can
time.
almost buy everything on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I haven't
Amazon
been.
has,
I
and then
I
you order
still
stuff.
Yeah, I still have stuff like from when I moved because the other day I was like looking through my things and I was like, oh hell yeah, I found tape. I found like I didn't even know where I put it, but then I found like my oh shoot, hold on. The green tape. I ended up
It's
finding
screen.
yeah, why is it oh, because it's green, duh. I was like, why is it doing that? But yeah,
Yeah,
the green tape.
yeah.
The hell? Weird. But yeah, maybe I should have just taped up the whole back pure green.
Good green.
Yeah, I made my green screen. No. Yeah, but I ended up finding this, the yellow tape, like just different colors of tape,
Mhm,
and then but I have a bunch of other materials. The only thing I need to bring over here is like my uh pinstriping supplies, things like that. So
mhm,
this way whenever I want to just like play around and like take a break from a build and just play around with some paint, I can I need to bring that. Because I left all that stuff at my parents' pad when I was moving. I was like, I'm not gonna be messing with any of this stuff. I think from the time probably when my daughter was gonna be born, I was like, I need to put this away because I don't want to have this around the house, or having mineral spirits like smelling that, you know.
And this is 5 years ago already.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna have to bring it over here, introduce it to the space, and then
Mhm,
I'll be able to now I have the space to do it in the yard too. So there's more privacy. I can sit out there and just kind of work away. Try to go back to what I was like
yeah.
wanting to learn to do and feel comfortable like doing it right there. So I'll try to record videos on that kind of stuff. Maybe by then I'll have the Meta, the glasses, the Ray-Bans. So
Mhm.
I'll be able to get like a better view, better angle of that right there. I think that'd be pretty sick. Um, we'll see what's up, Armando. Is there
Yeah, they're
anything
pretty.
you wanna plug, Armando? Any shout outs before we wrap up this episode?
Well, I just want to say thank you, Edgar, because you're, believe it or not, you're a big part of this community, and you make a big difference on all of us that are going to be listening to this podcast. And they are already there. Some of them they're supposed to be sleeping and they're not because they wanna see the podcast live. But um, keep doing what you're doing. I always tell you, like, don't stop. uh, you're making us, keeping this hobby a beautiful hobby. So um, you know everybody's watching, everybody's listening. um, um, you do things very positive, so it's a good, uh, why not, um, follow your podcast, follow what you're doing, because you're teaching us a lot, not just me, but everybody that watches this videos.
Oh, thank you, Armando. Thank you for those words, man. That means a lot. Yeah, we're gonna you know, continue wanting to do more and more episodes with like more guests. And also, I mean, there's so many things that have changed, so many things that have happened, current events, and even in the past with our world of scale model building. There has been artists that unfortunately also have passed away as well, that they're no longer here. Their work is, people still remember them and stuff like that. So even people like that, at some point I would want to get even like some more info on them to acknowledge them, for their work, and just mention it, out here, because there was, some artists that I would notice, I didn't know them personally. Unfortunately, I never got to meet them, but I did see, like, you know, um, them impact a lot of people, and then they were like no longer. That's like, wow, like it's shocking, it's sad, but it's also like dang, like it I feel like those people still need to be acknowledged, and that are out there. And then there's also some even going further back, before I even got into the model scene as well. But I know for like everybody that's doing it right now, we all share something in common. The number one thing is like the cars. There's a passion, there's a love for cars, for vehicles, and you know, not being able to, for a lot of us, even like myself, like I can't just go buy a 57 Bel Air or a 59 Impala. I wish I could, those cars now. I mean, they're worth a lot of money, uh, but at least we have the opportunity to purchase, or get our hands, or gift, or get gifted a model kit where we can, um, give our twist. How would I want this car to look if I owned it? Um, you know, Maybe I want to do a replica. Maybe I saw a car that just passed by and I love the paint job on that car. Let me try to emulate, or try to do something identical to that. Or maybe, there's a friend or someone that, they love cars, and you're like, you know what? I think it'd mean a lot if I surprise them with a build, So there's just so much. And then on top of that, you got all the genres and all the different stuff, different worlds, from 164 scale, 124, 125th, the 110th, 116, and just beyond 132. There's just so many different scales that are out there. But those are all, they're in their own little world, but it's all under the same like tree. It's all just different like branches, or like a solar system. It's all there. So, when you need to take a break from something, then you can move on to something else. And if you really need to take a break from everything, then you can do that. Uh, but also just know, like, you when you come back, there's always gonna be, homies and friends, and people that are still doing this stuff, doing it up. So, yeah, I mean, as long as, I don't know. My thing's always like, as long as we just keep it positive and just keep it moving forward, I think we'll be headed in the right direction to keep pushing it to that next step, to that next level of building, right there, because, I don't know. A lot of the times, if we get too stuck on something that like turns into a negative thing, then it doesn't progress. It kind of just stays stuck there. And I feel like those are things that kind of, just make things a bit awkward and kind of weird or whatever. But I don't know. A lot of the times we're doing this because we want to step away, or we want to forget about, what's kind of happening, or things are affecting us in our daily lives, you know? Everybody's going through some personal stuff or whatever, but at the end of the day, this is kind of our escape. This is like, we might be escaping the internet, we might be escaping watching TV or doing this or doing that, but this is the thing that kind of keeps us like grounded back to reality, a reset. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I just kind of rambled right there a lot, but but yeah, Armando, thank you, man. This was awesome. It was cool having you on here. Um, especially kicking things off, getting back into it. I want to get you back on. I want you to like be a part of this podcast, a frequent guest, back on here. And, we'll keep everybody updated with the latest of what you're doing and what you got going on, you know. We'll definitely keep tabs on that right there. And but yeah, man, thank you. Thank you, Armando. Um, this is 65 Lokes checking
Thank you.
out episode number 253. And and have a good night, Armando. We'll stay in touch. And everybody else,
Peace.
thank you guys for watching as well and also commenting. Even if you didn't jump on the chat, it's all good, but you were watching, that's all good. So, and for those that are going to be listening to this, the audio later on the podcast, on the description, I will put a link to the live video as well from YouTube. So in case if you wanted to see the video, because Armando did show some builds as well. So cool. All right, guys. Well, peace out. You guys have a good one. All right. All right, Armando.